Day 23, stick around and I'll explain. Good morning, bright and early. I apologize for this section of the video. As you can tell, we're heading out early. We got up at 6 a.m. to break down. Left camp about 6:45 and it's just not daylight yet. But as I said in yesterday's video, we're getting a food drop today from one of our family members who's been off trail due to injury. And we're meeting her at Clingmans Dome, which is still 10 miles from where we set up last night. So we're trying to cover 10 miles of some pretty difficult terrain in, I don't know, 6 hours or so, something like that. So we were just pretty well shot last night after the 12 miles that we did. So anyway, that's the plan. I won't bore you with any more of this video. I'll catch up after a while. Good morning. I'm not sure how far we are from Clingmans. I actually didn't look, but probably less than 5 miles, but I hear it's quite the climb. So anyway, we're here at Siler's Bald shelter right now. Stopped here to get water, so filled up on water. Wind's blowing pretty good here, so I'm getting chilled because of the sweat underneath my rain jacket. So I'm gonna get hauling again and we'll connect with you back up trail. All right, this is Double Spring Gap Shelter. This is another shelter we're passing by on our way to Clingmans Dome. Clingmans Dome is still just under 3 miles away, and we've got quite a few climbs to get up to it. So I'm gonna keep on pressing by, but this is Double Spring Gap Shelter. All right, so big climbs this morning. I know I've said that a few times, but oh my. Anyway, I'm still probably just under 2 miles away from Clingmans Dome, and the terrain's changed up here at elevation. I'm sure at this point I'm pretty close to 6,000 feet. For those who don't know, Clingmans Dome is the highest point on the entire Appalachian Trail. Comes in at around 6,610 feet of elevation. So that's basically what I'm climbing today. But I just thought it was neat walking through this. I think they call it a spruce forest. I was told by other thru hikers that this will come up as part of the train on the way to Clingmans Dome. So anyway, it's just a cool mix of spruce trees, a lot of moss on the downs, a large variety of different kinds of mosses. I guess that's what it's called, moss. I don't know. I'm not that smart, but wind's blowing pretty hard if you can't hear it. That's kind of expected up here at elevation. I'll show you some more cool trees over here. So anyway, all right, I'm gonna keep hiking. All right, I have officially reached Clingmans Dome, the highest point on the Appalachian Trail. So I walk up this little trail here and get to the top. I realize it's going to be super windy, so I'll block that out with some music. So here we go. not too surprising coming down the mountain that I was on. Sometimes a trail is nothing but rocks. Looks almost kind of like river rocks. And I think that's one of the things that's really surprised me the most or impressed me the most is just the varied terrain, the different trail surfaces, all that kind of stuff. I mean, this is literally like a dried creek bed, but it is the Appalachian Trail. So anyway, now that the wind's on the other side of the mountain a little bit, I can explain. So Clingmans Dome, as I said a few times, is the official highest point on the Appalachian Trail. As I said again, it's around 6,600 feet of elevation. It's also the 200-mile mark. So that's big for me in this journey, is to hit 200 miles. So I didn't mention it up there, probably just because it slipped my mind, but probably also partially because it was just so cold and windy up there. I just didn't have all my faculties about me. When we got to Clingmans, my final Tramley member and I parted ways. I didn't start with 6, but I joined up with 5 others. So there was 6 of us for, the first couple of weeks or so, and then it filtered down to just 2 of us, and just parted ways with the last one. So, I haven't really introduced any of them on here, and they're part of my journey for sure. I enjoyed the heck out of them. Have a lot of fond memories. Sometimes certain people aren't what's best for your hike or your adventure. And, we determined that was the case between me and this last Tramley member. We weren't what the other person needed for this adventure. And that's going to happen out here. It is not uncommon to kind of have a Tramley and then separate. Everybody's got different speeds, different plans. Some leave trail at different times. There's so many reasons why Tramleys don't stick together. This is probably, I guess this is the first time I've ever truly, I guess you might say, been without someone, or if nothing else, a Tramley member. So, but I'm feeling okay about it right now. I'm just focused right now on getting into this next shelter and setting up for the night and kind of taking a look at what tomorrow's going to have in store. There is supposed to be pretty high winds throughout the day, as well as some rain possibly moving in this afternoon and evening. And it's supposed to rain most of the day tomorrow, from what I understand. So that may impact the next couple of days' vlogs in terms of how often I get the phone out. But anyway, I've talked long enough. Just kind of updating you on the current status of things. So we'll touch back with you when I get to the shelter. All right, this may be a longer video than I've put out before, but I'm on this little side trail to the shelter. So we've been a little bit spoiled the last couple days here in the Great Smoky Mountain National Park, because the shelters have literally been right on the edge of the trail. I mean, you walk right by them. They're super nice and easy to get to. As I've said before, they haven't had privies yet. I hear some of them do. But anyway, this particular shelter is a half a mile off the Appalachian Trail, one way. So, again, I don't want this to sound like I'm complaining. I'm just literally conversating. But so I've hiked 13 very, very, very challenging miles for me today. And then, I have an additional half mile, which, again, I know it's going to sound like I'm complaining, but that's kind of the reality out here. I guess I just want to share the reality for those potential thru hikers in the future, that it's not always going to be easy. Fortunately, this, for the most part, has been pretty level ground, which is great. It's been a little bit of downhill. But anyway, the next shelter, if I'd have kept going, is 8.5 more miles, which would have put me at 21.5. And after the climb that I've had today, the several climbs, especially the one up to Clingmans Dome, my legs just feel like butter. There's just no other way to put it. So anyway, I'm getting closer, maybe 0.2 away now. When I get to the shelter, I'll throw up a few images and do a closeout. Thanks for following along. All right, so I'm going to close it off for today. Ended up with a completely packed house here at this shelter. We had 10 section hikers come through, probably 6 through hikers. The shelter says it's for 12 people, so it's literally raining outside. And several tents also outside, so the shelter's full. Lots of tents set up. So anyway, it's just gotten real full. This is the first shelter that I've been to in the Great Smoky Mountains that has a privy, so that's good news. It also has a real nice brand new tarp that runs the whole length of this opening, which is really nice on nights like tonight where it's raining and the wind's blowing. It's kind of blustery. I've got most of my layers on, so I'm fixing to hop into the sleeping bag where I can get warmer and call it a night. So I have a group here of a men's church group. It was eight of the section hikers today, and they did a little devotional inside and said a prayer, so that was kind of nice. So we'll close out for now.